without the prior permission of the state. I would like to cite this one. In State versus Charulata Doshi, Honorable Supreme Court held that the constitutional right to freedom of speech and expression conferred by Article 19(1)(a), the Constitution, which includes the freedom of press, is not an absolute right. Thus, here the press had no right that it could acquire the tape conversation without the prior permission of the state. The second issue is whether the government can be liable for the leak or negligence amounting to the publication of recorded conversation. My argument is the government cannot be liable for the leak or negligence amounting to publication of the recorded conversation, as it is not certain if the tapes were leaked when they were in charge of the IT department or the CBI. The tapes may have been acquired illegally. Hypothetically, even if we consider that Ms. Veera's case is good in law, even then the conversation was published by newspaper and not the state. Thus, the newspaper agency would be amenable to being prosecuted for violation of Ms. Veera's right and not the state. The Telegraph Act 1885 does not lay out specific procedures as to how wiretap information should be protected or secured. Instead, Section 23 and 24, it is not permitted for any person illegally obtain the contents of an intercepted telegram. Third issue is whether the government was reasonable in recording the conversation of Ms. Veera for the duration of 300 days. My argument is the government was reasonable in recording the conversation of Ms. Veera for 300 days, as IT department being sure that the enormous amount of tax evasion was going on, decided to monitor Ms. Veera, for which it had taken prior proper permission of the concerned department. To collect evidence that such tax evasion was impossible, the department had to intercept her for a long duration of 300 days until they received the sufficient information for taking action against the Ms. Veera. I would like to cite this one. In People's Union versus Civil Liberties versus Union of India, Honorable Supreme Court held that the telephone tapping by government under Section 2 of Telegraph Act amounts to infraction of Article 21 of Constitution. Right to privacy is part of right to life and personal liberty enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution. And it is also mentioned that the said right cannot be curtailed except according to procedure established by law. And the conditions given in Section 5(2) of the Telegraph Act have been fulfilled while giving permission to the department. Fourth issue is whether the transfer of state conversation by tax department to CBI was allowed. Our argument is the transfer of state conversation by tax department to CBI was right, as IT department had tape conversation of Ms. Veera for 300 days where they received information regarding the tax evasion. In these few cases, they had discovered that something more than tax evasion was going on and the matter would be out of their jurisdiction. Thus, the tapes were rightly transferred to the CBI. My fifth issue is whether there has been violation of the Indian Telegraph Act 1885. My argument is there has been no violation of the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, as the recording of the texts have been done under the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, which not only permits the interception of the telegraph for public emergency or interest of public safety, but also for public interest and for preventing incitement to the commission of offence, here being the tax evasion. My sixth issue is whether the action of government is in any way detrimental to the growth of trade and commerce amounting to the violation of right and livelihood. My argument is the action of government is in no way detrimental to the growth of trade and commerce amounting to violation of right livelihood. Anything and everything found illegal in trade and commerce should be monitored and taken stringent action against by the state. Such action of state will never have any detrimental effect on any legal transactions of law-abiding states, trade and commerce organizations. Modus operandi of state to flourish trade is by use of legal means and eradicate all the illegality, because illegal acts have detrimental effects on the trade and commerce of the state. We, being law-abiding and law enforcement agency, have to see that the people don't misuse the rights given to them as a disguise to cover up their illegal activities. May I proceed to detail the account? In the lights of facts stated, arguments advanced and authorities cited, the appellant humbly prays before the Honorable Court to be graciously pleased to allow the appeal filed by the appellant in the Honorable Court of Law squash and set aside the judgment and order passed by the Honorable High Court of Saurashtra as the acts as stated were legal and justified, and there has been no violation of respondents' constitutional rights. Pass any order which the court may deem fit in the right of justice, equity and good conscience, all of which is most humbly prayed.
He is investigated, and if information is collected for by whether one fact or one whether it can be used by CBI without knowing that person.
The matter went out of jurisdiction of IT department. Thus, at that moment, they had right to transfer the tapes to CBI.
Is it not a right of that person to know for what reason he is investigated?
Yes, Your Honor, the findings of the
was he
CBI.
given information that his phone tapping is transferred or conveyed to CBI?
No, Your Honor, that fact was disclosed due to the inconvenience or lack of negligence of the newspaper.
So the question is whether it was not right of Ms. Meera to know that she's being investigated by CBI.
No, it is not necessary. Absolute right where something illegal is going on. They can investigate without telling the person. In fact, telling the person would cause distraction or any other problems in their investigation.
You submitted that you received information, the IT department received information about the tax evasion, and therefore this wiretapping initiated the matter. My question is whether you really ascertain whether the information received by you was having some.
Just go ahead and tap someone's phone for 300 days without any proper information. If you have proper information, just is that
Working from any other
the top CEOs of the company, it was relevant that they had to tap.
Tapping of the phone is the last
Your Honor,
whether before you resorted to this or whether some other options were
well versed with the facts of the case, may I proceed with the issues and arguments, please? Much obliged. My first issue is whether publication of respondents' private conversation is violation of respondents' right to privacy. Publication of respondents' private conversation is violation of respondents' right to privacy, as right of privacy of the respondent has been infringed due to continuous tapping of the phone for 300 days. The private conversation of the respondent, which was in the custody of the government, was leaked out in a leading newspaper, which was further violated the right of privacy, which is a part of right to life and personal liberty granted by the Constitution under Article 21. I would like to cite the case, may I please? In People's Union for Civil Liberties versus Union of India, the Honorable Supreme Court held that the telephone tapping by government under Section 5(2) of the Indian Telegraph Act 1885 amounts to infraction of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Right to privacy is a part of the right to life and personal liberty enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution. My second issue is whether government is liable for negligence as respondents' private conversation was leaked and published in a leading newspaper. Government is liable for negligence. The government was negligent in securing the recorded data, due to which private conversation between respondent and a business person was leaked out in a leading newspaper. The government had given permission to tax department to record private conversation of the respondent. The department, under the permission, recorded the conversation of the respondent for a duration of 300 days. Thus, it was the duty of the government to protect and secure the recordings of the private conversation of the respondent. I would like to cite a case, please. In State vs. Charulata Joshi, Honorable Supreme Court held that the constitutional right to freedom of speech and expression conferred by Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution includes the freedom of press is not an absolute right. Thus, not only the state but also the leading newspaper was negligent for publication of private conversation of the respondent. My third issue is whether the government had right to record respondents' private conversation, especially for such a long duration of 300 days. The government had no right to record respondents' private conversation, especially for such a long duration of 300 days. Conversation regarding business between two people has to be considered a private conversation as it is not meant for disclosure to the public. A continuous violation of this right to privacy for no apparent cogent reason or proof to contrary is despicable as state is supposed to be guardian of people's constitutional rights. My fourth issue is whether the transfer of tape the conversation by tax department to CBI was right.